Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today, let's take a look at the 2026 BMW X5 xDrive40i. Huge shout out to Hendrick BMW for providing this SUV for me today. Take a look at their website, that link is down in the description. This X5's original color is Dravit Gray Metallic, however it has a full matte PPF, so now this is matte Dravit Gray. MSRP is just over $88,000. This is powered by the 3-liter turbocharged inline 6. It's also paired to both the 48-volt hybrid system along with the 8-speed automatic. Pumps out 375 horsepower, 398 pound-feet of torque. The xDrive40i means that this is all-wheel drive. It weighs in just shy of 5,000 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 5.2 seconds, and with all the M Sport packages, top speed is 155 miles an hour. This also has a fuel capacity of 21.9 gallons, and you'll expect to see it 23 miles per gallon in the city, 27 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 117.1 inches. Its overall length is 194.3. It has a width of 78.9, a height of 69.5, and its ground clearance measures in at 8.7 inches. Now, as we move on to the exterior styling, with this matte finish, it definitely gives it a fantastic look, especially with all the gloss black accents. Now, this model also has a forward camera. There's active grille shutters within the gloss black trim accents. They will open and close to provide cooling when needed. There's also a sensor down below, along with parking sensors, more cutouts on both sides of the bumper, and then a dark housing for the LEDs. You'll notice too, some very crisp lines coming down both sides of the hood. And then this model also has the optional 22-inch wheels. They're finished off in gloss black. This is also spec'd with the red brake calipers, which is a nice combo. You'll notice more gloss black for the trim accent. This also has power folding side mirrors with a camera and a turn signal, and more gloss black, which also works its way to both the window trim and the roof racks. And then there's a full moon roof up top. As we take a step back, some more prominent lines running through the middle and the lower section with the side skirt there. And then in back, there's some gloss black accents surrounding the rear window. It's in the lower section of the spoiler, and it hides that third brake light very nicely. There's also the wiper blade, LEDs for all of the lighting. There's a backup camera, parking sensors, and then the dual exhaust down below with the gloss black trim accents. Now, this also has remote start, so you can use the control to activate that as needed, and then you can, of course, use that to shut it off too. Now, you can also use the control on the key fob or the one underneath to gain access to the cargo space. Now, with the X5, this has the split tailgate or liftgate, so you have the upper one and then you can open that lower one as needed. For the X5, it also has a lot of cargo space. This particular model also has the spare tire underneath. You can place some smaller items down here if you need to, but you can also fit that cover. So if you're not using it, you can store it nicely out of the way. There's also a few hooks where you can place some bags if needed. There's a 12-volt as well, and then you can fold the back seats down for even more space. Now, you can close what I'll call the tailgate individually, or just push the button up top, where you do also have the hands-free tailgate. But you can push on that control and it will close both of them. You can use the lock control as well. Now, for the hands-free option, you just swiftly kick your foot right underneath the middle and it will open both of them, which is nice. You can also set the tailgate up and the liftgate a few different ways depending on what you would like to open with what controls. Now, for the recent LCI, there's no proximity door handles in the back, but you can set this vehicle up to where when you walk away, it locks all 4 doors. When you approach the vehicle, it unlocks all 4 doors. So it doesn't matter that there's no proximity door handles, they'll lock and unlock. You don't even have to think about it, which is fantastic. Now, this is also paired with the cognac interior. You'll notice wood trim, brushed aluminum with the lighting, some storage down below, an illumination for the M badge, and then there's the release for the seats. So you can fold these flat and fit in a lot of items. And then at 5'10", it's very spacious. You have storage pockets, an area to place and charge tablets. There's vents in the middle and then a little bit of storage underneath. So you can opt for the rear climate controls where you have dual zone back here and you have heated seats too. And then there's auxiliaries down below. So it is missing that option, just depending on if you need it or not. And then at 5'10", I have about 2 inches of headspace. So you can be taller than me and still fit in the back. Now, right in the middle, there's the armrest with storage and cup holders, and then you can fold this middle seat down if you need to. You have some large windows on the sides there, just to help with better visibility and more lighting for your passengers. And then up front, there's memory seating adjustments, the liftgate, your mirror controls, window adjustments, and then a lot of storage down below. And then this particular model also has A very nice design for these seats. There is a manual support for your legs here, so you can control that as needed. You can also opt for the multi-contour seats where that would be automatic. And then as we hop in, we're greeted with the leather steering wheel with some brushed accents. And we'll start this up now. It's not a very loud vehicle, which is nice. And then as we work our way to the gauge cluster, you have controls right here to go through that. There's also volume tuning, Bluetooth and voice commands. And you'll notice with the LED lights on both sides, that indicates that this has distance pacing. So if you use that middle control, we can scroll through some content and you can pull up quite a lot for this. So just depending on what you would like to see. Now you can also adjust the layout, so it will change it slightly. And then this has the head-up display. So you have a few more to go through depending on the information you would like. Now there's also headlight adjustments along with some storage. There's one air vent, leather for the dash, and then with the infotainment system, everything in the lower section is fixed, so you can always get to it. And you can also use the shortcuts down below. So you have all of those along with the rotary dial. This model here has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. There's also the drive recorder, different driving settings. You can go through your lighting, your vehicle status. There's quite a lot to gain access to. Now for the home screen, you have this split view, and then you can get into climates, navigation, there's music, and then the heated seats, and then you have temperature dials on both sides. Interesting to see there's no heated steering wheel for this particular model. There's also more wood trim underneath that, along with vents. There's volume tuning, hazards, and defrosters, wireless charging with auxiliaries and cup holders, and you can hide all of that away. You have those shortcuts, like I mentioned earlier, and then this is how you put it into reverse. So this has the 3D camera system, so you can go through all of these angles depending on what you would like to view. And then you have the shortcuts too to see around this vehicle. There's also drive, sport mode, and then parks located behind that. There's traction control, parking sensors, and then a few different driving modes. So this will change the throttle input. It will also change the M Sport exhaust. So it will get slightly louder. You also have piped in exhaust noises as well that you can turn on and off, but there's downhill assist, auto hold, and the e-brake. An auxiliary down below, along with a locking glove box. And then X5 is in this trim accent. Those colors will change depending on the driving mode. There's garage door buttons, and then dome lights and controls for the sunroof and sunshade. And then a look at visibility, tons of glass. So pretty easy to see over both shoulders, and this is also equipped with the Harman Kardon audio. As we set up behind the wheel for the latest BMW X5, if you're new to our channel, I own an LCI X5, so I have quite a lot of experience with the platform in general. My wife and I had a plug-in hybrid X5 for 2 years before we jumped into the LCI. So you can take a look at the X5 playlist on our channel to see some ownership experience, especially between the plug-in hybrid versus the 40i that we currently have. And I've also done a few modifications to it, new intake and a new exhaust. Now I believe some of the M cars that I have driven come with the M Performance exhaust, which is an option. I'm not sure if this particular model has that or not. It might be, but if it's not, you can throw on an exhaust if that's something you choose to do, like I did, and it definitely makes the vehicle sound really good. It's not too loud for the 40i in general. You do have some piped in exhaust noises that you can turn on and off, but with the Valvetronic system that I put on my X5, it really makes that B58 come to life. Other than that, this vehicle is exactly like mine. I wanted to showcase this because of the full matte PPF wrap, which is a really neat dealer option that this X5 has. It makes it look very stealthy from the exterior. Other than that, the X5 is a great SUV, and I'm not trying to be biased. I bought it for a specific reason. It's very luxury focused. It's my wife's dream SUV, and at the time I bought it to tow because I sold my truck, so I needed something that could tow. These can tow, which I didn't mention, if you get the factory hitch, they can tow around 6,000, 6,500 pounds. If you go with the competition models, which have the V8, they're closer to 7,200 pounds. So these are very capable SUVs, and unfortunately people don't use them to tow often, but I used mine to tow 6,000 pounds, and it did it with ease. My 45e had the adaptive suspension, so it auto leveled, the vehicle wasn't sagging, and it handled that weight extremely well. So if you need a vehicle that can tow, but you also want something luxury focused and is going to be a super comfortable daily driver, that also has a lot of space too. This is a great option to go with. And of course you have different trim levels too. You can go with an xDrive, which is going to be rear wheel drive, or you can bump up to the competition models, which will have even more power. So just depending on the type of driving that you are doing. For my wife and I, the 40i is a great combo. If we shared an SUV, I would have gone with a competition model, but this is mainly hers and she really doesn't have any complaints with it. It rides also surprisingly well on the 22-inch wheels. I know that is a big comment that we get with larger wheels. We went from 20s on our 45e with the full adaptive height adjustable suspension to the 22s with the M Sport suspension, which this model has, and I don't have any complaints. It's a little bit stiffer, but I wouldn't say it's harsh. This is something that plenty of people daily drive, and I personally like it. I like it being a little bit on that stiffer side versus the adaptive suspension, but it just depends on what you are going to like. I would daily drive this all day. We've gone on a couple 100-mile trips with it, and there's really no complaints or issues. No road noise, wind noise, and the ride is, I would say, very nice. So you have a lot of ways that you can spec the X5, and it is also very maneuverable. For a larger vehicle, the turning radius is great, it's easy to park, and it's a good all-around luxury focused SUV. There's some other competitors in this price point, of course, so it just depends on your preference and what you like, but as an owner, not trying to be biased, I do think it is one of the best SUVs that you can buy. And we'll go to sport mode now from second gear, which you cannot shift with the shifter down below, so it's just the paddles. Here we go. And just a minor acceleration, not all that loud, even in sport mode, but you can take a look at the BMW X5 playlist on our channel to really see me ripping on my personal X5, along with installing the exhaust and making it that much louder. But this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the latest X5. A big complaint that I've seen with filming a lot of the X5s is the large screen. I'll just touch briefly on that. Since my wife and I owned a 2022, which had the dual screen setup, we jumped up to the LCI here, and I have no regrets, and I'm not going back. The large screen, in my opinion, is so much nicer. Yes, there's no physical buttons for some of this information. It's all fixed here, which is incredibly helpful. But honestly, this is so much easier to use than the small buttons that are underneath the previous generation. Having the climates down here with their own separate screen. Personal preference, of course, but once I hopped into this, we didn't look back on the 2022. So I like it. I think it's integrated nicely into the dash, and it's super easy to use. You also have voice commands. Now with the voice commands, you can say things like, hey BMW, I'm hot. It'll turn down the AC. If you say I'm cold, it'll turn the heat up. You can adjust the heated and ventilated seats if you have some of those options. There's quite a lot you can do with the voice commands, and my wife loves that. You don't even have to touch the screen. You can just start talking and get that set up. So that is a neat feature. If you're not really liking the screen, you have that to kind of make up for it, if you want to say that. It's honestly a really good luxury focused SUV. It's a great option to take a look at if you are in the market for this style vehicle, and I really don't have any complaints. So it's a vehicle that my wife and I are going to be keeping for at least 100,000 miles, if not more. With the B58, this is one of BMW's most reliable engines, and it's one of their most popular. So it's found in several other trim levels too, and different models as well. So it's a vehicle that there's really not going to be all that much as far as maintenance goes. I can do oil changes myself. If you choose to have a dealership or someone else do that, yes, you'll spend more money, but I have some videos on changing the oil if you want to do that yourself. Some of the other maintenance things, you can get some really good warranty packages too. I believe our vehicle has about 4 more years of warranty, so there's some things that I can at least get covered and not have to work on, but outside of warranty, I honestly wouldn't really worry about it. But I plan on owning mine again for several years, so I will make updates as I go. If you want to tune in every now and then to see what updates are with my personal X5. But it's a vehicle that I plan to own for a while, and it's definitely a great option. So that's going to wrap it up for the 2026 X5. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Charlotte for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website, give this a huge thumbs up, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.